Okay, now I've got the whole front clip back on the car here, as you can see. Put this all back on in order to test the lighting system. I just got my battery in today. I was lucky enough to make a panel for it for the wiring components that I need to use. So I'm going to go in here and show that the lights are actually all working. I'll also give a slight tour on my battery install. So first, let's go in the battery bin. Here you can see itty bitty battery down there. That's Odyssey Extreme PC 545. Very, very tiny battery. I think it weighs in at only like 10.4 pounds or something like that. It's under 11, I believe. Only has 545 cold cranking amps, and by cold cranking amps they mean at 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's definitely a warm weather battery. It is a 12 volt battery. Some people use them in like their motorcycles and stuff. It's very tiny, but it packs a punch for how small it is. I just decided to go with it because the PC 680 was a little bit more money, and I wanted to go with a really small, lightweight one this time. If you can see this kind of janky looking setup here, this is what I made, the panel. This is going to be a grounding block. It's already got a ground strap from the battery onto it. I'm going to run little 12 gauge ground wires everywhere off of this, so I know that they're getting the best ground possible from the battery. And then I'm going to run 2 chassis ground cables off of the battery terminal itself. So there's going to be 2 chassis grounds, 1 ground block, and then the ground to the battery, or to the starter, sorry. That one's going to be grounded on the chassis, or on the engine. But this is the main fuse block. This is from an FC. This is actually from an NAFC. That's why there is no second fuse here. I would normally be EGI and then something else. It says something else on the turbo ones, but I forget. So the only ones I have plugged in here are the head, the main, and the retractor, because those are the only 3 I wanted to test in here. I've got the wiring running in through here. These 3 wires power on the FB part of the car. And then this is the ground strap that I ran to a bolt on the seat. The only thing that's connected to the positive right now is the fuse block itself. So if we go up here, you can see, so the first thing I always check for is that the clock is on, which is a good sign, meaning that it's getting power all the way up there. So if I wanted to test the system here, I would go, and here's the key. If you watch there on the voltage gauge, when I turn the key to the on position, I get about a little more than 10, almost 11 volts. So that's a good sign. Then the only other thing that I have running right now is the light system from the first gen. So I'm going to power those on here to show you that those work. So here we go. Marker lights work like they should. Let's double check the front lights as well. You can see that turn signal marker light is on. That one is not, which I think is due to a bad bulb. I don't think this one ever worked. So I'll have to double check that in a minute. But let's check the headlight motor next, which you can do independently here. Both headlight motors on, down, up, and down, so that's good. Next I'm going to check the function of the full light system, turning all the lights on. And both headlights turn on too, so that's awesome. You can see they're way off because I had them out to put the stuff in, so I'm going to have to adjust them. So that's a very promising sign. This marker light is also out here, but I haven't checked the bulb in that either. I'm going to have to check the bulbs in both of these and make sure that either one of them worked, because I can't remember if they did or not. So that's a very good sign for me. Kind of made my day checking that stuff. Yeah, very good thing. Next up is just the FC wiring. Oh, let's check the brights. Oh, cool. Brights even work. Awesome. So, brights off. Headlights off, buckets down. Headlight motor, buckets up, buckets down, and marker lights off. So there we go. Tested out the FB wiring that was tucked. Checked out good. Now I have to get started on the second gen wiring, and then I'll have to do the transmission wiring at the same time, and then all the engine stuff. Okay, good.